What's up, traders? I'm here with another cautionary tale from my experience in trading. The reason I am so passionate about sharing these kind of stories with people is because I genuinely care. I don't want people to lose money. And oftentimes on my social media, where I'm talking to traders that are fairly new, I see them do things that could get them in a lot of trouble. And they just haven't seen the things that I've seen in the past to really warn them. So this is going to be a story like that. And by the way, make sure that you do all the like, share, subscribe stuff that gets this message out to people because I want to save people really big pain. This story takes us back in ancient times to the year of 2014. This is Monster energy drink. This is back when I actually used to drink a lot of Monsters. Delicious. I like the white cans. Oh man, but I don't know if they're so good for you. So this is August the 14th, excuse me, August 2014, August the 8th. And Monster had just released earnings. Now, everyone knows that around earnings, things can be very volatile, especially options. And so, if you had waited until earnings to play it, you would have avoided a lot of the risk around earnings. You don't really want to hold options going into earnings unless you're gambling, in my opinion, because you never know what that number is going to be or what the stock is going to do. But after earnings, it is somewhat safer to play options because that big catalyst, the thing that could happen, has already happened. And now the stock can move more normally without a big gap risk. And so if you're looking to take a position after earnings, you can avoid that. And so you may have this sense of security about it. Well, let's go back and look at the options on that date. And I'm going to use Thinkorswim's platform for this because their analyze feature has some really good tools. So this is 8/8/2014, and we're looking at the option chain. We're going to look at the regular expiration, which that means the one that expires on the middle of the month, not the weeklies. And what really clued me to make this video was a trader on my social media, my Discord, had taken an in the money. They had bought an in the money option on a stock with a very short expiration because what they wanted to do was they wanted to capture as much delta movement as possible. Now, when you buy an option, you are controlling 100 shares worth of that stock. And your delta value on the option, which you can see right here in this column, is going to be the amount, the value that option moves for every dollar movement of the stock. So in other words, if you had bought the 69.5 put, which is the at the money, because it's right where price is, price being 69.45, you would get roughly $50 of option value for every dollar move of the stock. Now, let's say you wanted more. Well, you could come down here and you can get $90 for every movement of the stock. And the problem with this is you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to pay about $1,000 for this option, but you'll get a very big movement of the stock in the value of your option. And so that's why someone might want to do this rather than buy 100 shares, which would cost you $6,900, give or take. You can instead buy an deep in the money option for less, essentially giving you leverage on this position and capture more of the movement. That's something you can do, but I don't recommend it, especially so close to expiration. And we're going to see why in a second. So let's just assume that some trader had done this. Okay. And so we're going to move forward a little bit and I'm going to find the exact date. So on the 14th of August, which is the Thursday before this option expired. The reason I'm going to go to that is because I remember going back and looking at this. It was the week of expiration. I didn't take this, but I saw it. So obviously this person that took the long option Well, they're down a little bit of money, but that's fine. They can always close it out on the day of expiration, right? Maybe. There's another thing that I really thought was interesting. We're going to take the flip side of this. Well, Monster was trading at $71 a share on the day before option expiration. So, what a trader could do, and if you can look here, the volume of that day was 110. We don't know if that's all one person, but 110 of these options changed hands at some point or another during this day. You can, on some exchanges, sell naked options. You can sell naked calls. And so let's just say that we were one person that said, okay, I've got one day left on this option. I'm going to sell 110 options right here at 10 cents. I'm going to pocket $1,100, and all I have to do is just wait until tomorrow. I mean, it's good $4 away. Earnings has already happened. That catalyst event is no longer a possibility. So I should be pretty safe to make some really quick money. As they say, picking up pennies in front of steamrollers. But it's just a day, right? What can happen? Or going back to the option buyer here that bought the option, they're pretty safe. I mean, they might lose a little bit more if the price goes down, but they got plenty of time to close it right before expiration. They got a whole day, right? Wrong. This happened. What is that? Well, that was a Thursday evening announcement that Coca-Cola had purchased a 16.7% stake in the Monster Beverage Company. Kind of sucks that they waited until the Friday right before option expiration after earnings to do this. Almost like that was maybe part of somebody's strategy there. I don't know. Conspiracy theories. But let's see what happened to our traders that assumed they would be fine just holding until the day of expiration. So let's go forward today. Well, the person that bought the option, the put, because price went all the way up to $93 and they had bought the 80 put, that put expired worthless, just like any put that goes out of the money. And they lose the full value of what they put into it, over $1,000. But that's not as bad as the person that sold the naked calls. They would have been trying to make about a quick $1,000 and would end up owing $203,000 just from 24 hours. And that's it. An absolute disaster in both cases. So, this is why I caution against holding options into the expiration. You're better off closing them before expiration so that you have a little more wiggle room to move around and get out. Because if something like this happens that you can't predict, there's no way that you could know, you're going to be in a very bad situation. And this is going to be very, very rare. Obviously, I had to go back to 2014 to find something like this. But I remember it very vividly early in my professional trading career, as why you can't just assume you'll be fine from one day to another. You don't know what can happen. And even though these are rare, this one event can blow out your account and then you can't trade anymore. So take this to heart, trade wisely, and we'll see you in the next video.